Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right, you can be seated. I want to indicate, first of all, there was a question the media was dying to know about. I'm going to read that into the record. I consulted with the attorneys who answered the question, and so then I sent the question back in. They agreed on the answer. The jury asked, please define Article 16.13, bullet number 4, define willfully neglected and grossly negligent. The lawyers agreed to answer the question. Please see jury instruction 16.18 for the definition of gross negligence. All other definitions are contained within jury instruction 16.13. I also want to point out that there's a request by the media to ask the jury members if they would be willing to remain in the courthouse and be questioned off camera. Because there would be a verdict and no other defendant pending trial, I would have been willing to do that. But the courthouse closes at 4:30, and I have continually imposed on the courthouse for the sake of this trial and the other one. I cannot impose on the staff for the deputies any further. I also want to indicate that with regard to case number 22-279-990 the People versus Jennifer Crumbley, there is an order restricting pretrial publicity. It was entered on July 14th, 2022. That order will be set aside as soon as the verdict is read. I will also be issuing an order that will obviously not be made public in the courthouse until tomorrow morning. In addition, case number 22-279-989 the People versus James Crumbley, the same thing. The order restricting pretrial publicity was entered on July 14th, 2022, and that order will also be set aside as of the reading of the verdict. Are you ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
I like when they say, all rise. He has got to be anxious. The galley's got to be anxious. Yes, Diana, me too. I always wonder what's going through their minds at this moment when they zoom in on them. I mean, he really looks like he's ready to accept whatever the verdict is. I mean, he doesn't look like he's really feeling sorry for himself like Jennifer did. Jennifer had her eyebrows all crunched up, like, oh. He actually looks very, very fucking scared, but also, like, I don't know. He just seems to be more together than her.
All rise for the jury.
She wants to appear very confident.
Good evening. Good evening. Be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've worked very hard. We've all been awaiting your decision. I know this was a very intense decision for you all to make. I believe you've selected a foreperson. Who's the foreperson? You're the foreperson. Could you read the verdict, please?
They just get right into it.
Each count?
Sure.
Each count.
Count 1, involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin.
Guilty.
Count 2, involuntary manslaughter as to Tate Meir. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Tate Meir.
He's shaking his head
Count
no.
3, involuntary manslaughter as to Hannah St. Juliana. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Hannah St. Juliana. Count 4, involuntary manslaughter as to Justin Schilling.
Lord have mercy.
Guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Justin Schilling.
Thank you, foreperson. I'm going to ask that Ms. Williams poll the jury. So she's going to ask you each.
Jury in seat number 1, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 2, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 3, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 4, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 6, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 7, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 8,
There's
was that and is
Madison's
that
mom.
your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 9, was that and is that your verdict?
I don't know why it's so blurry.
It is.
Jury in seat number 11, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 12, was that and is that your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Jury in seat number 13, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 14, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know how hard this has been on all of you just by reading your face. I know this has been a very hard decision, and we appreciate your time. I'm going to ask you to return to the jury room, and I'll be there with you in a few minutes, all right?
All rise for the jury.
We will hear from the jury. The jury will talk. Gag orders lifted. Karen's going to be talking. Mark's going to be talking. We're going to have press conferences, I'm sure, tonight.